You suck it up, and you're just like, yeah, I made a bad third round pick. It's week 11. It's time to nut up and stop doing this.
You're listening to Let's Talk Fantasy Football, where men of fantasy genius have realized, hey guys, we don't need real football skills to dominate on the fantasy field. Yeah. So slap on your pads and grab your helmet. Shit's about to get real.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Let's Talk Fantasy Football. I am your host tonight. My name is Nick Walsh, and I am here with my good friend, Vinny Gonzalez. Vinny, we got part 2 of the Week 11 preview coming up. What's going on, dude? I stopped talking in the middle of the word going. I said going.
Going. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you're trying to say like two things at once, and you just say it like combined, and it just sounds so bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Anyway, how's fucking life, dude?
It's good, man. It's pretty good.
Sweet. All right. Well, now that you've heard how Vinny's life is going,
just good.
Pretty good is the answer to that question. We got 6 games to get you through before we let you on out of here for the week. But do want to remind you guys that there are 4 teams on bye. That's the Packers, the New York Giants, the Seahawks, and the Titans. So not exactly the worst week, not exactly the easiest week. You may have some troubles depending on your teams, but we'll try and get you through the replacement plays. I feel like almost every tight end in part 1, we were just like, yeah, play this guy.
I'm going to do that now too. I don't care what tight end you play. It's cool.
And it does not end. All right, let's get going with the clear game of the week. The New York Jets at the Washington Redskins. The over-under for this game is 38.5, and the Redskins are a 2.5-point favorite. I feel like based on that over-under, I'm a sucker for trying to sneak any sort of fantasy production out of this, and I am trying to do that with Sam Darnold. I'm kind of having the realization that I should try and look elsewhere, like with like the scraps of the waiver wire, I think, in the places that I am starting Darnold, which was an inertia move because I've started him the past 2 weeks in those leagues, and I was like, yeah, the matchup's good. But here's the fucking thing. The Redskins don't want to win games. They just want to give Adrian Peterson 18 carries a game.
I was going to say, I feel like every Jet you want to play is pretty much a trap because they're going to have limited options, or not options, but the Redskins just beat the shit out of the clock. They run it so much. They've had the quickest games in the last couple of weeks since Callahan took over. So all they want to do is run and get out and lose and ruin Dwayne Haskins and make nothing good out of their franchise. So I don't think there's really going to be too much going around here. And I think the Jets are a trap. And I feel like the Redskins might win on accident here because Peterson's going to break a big run or something.
Do you think there's a chance they change their game plan at all with Darius Geis expected to be back?
I think they rotate him in and give Peterson a break. I don't think that Geis is going to necessarily start or get the lion's share. I think it's going to be still Peterson, and then kind of because we only really heard Jay Gruden talk about what he wanted to do with Geis, and we saw that for a little bit until he got hurt, which was presumably a 3-down back. And then, we got Callahan now. We just don't know what to expect. So if you have Geis, I'm not playing him. I feel like he's at best going to be in a 60-40 split with Peterson. In a decent matchup, and they will run a lot, but it's so risky.
Yeah, it's not great. On that Jet side of the ball, I said I have a lot of Darnold in a lot of my leagues because I liked this stretch of games that he's in. And also the beginning of this week when you have to put waivers in was sort of just a blur for me with work and still being hungover from the weekend. And I didn't think hard enough and try and pick up Kyle Allen and stuff like that. So I'm current'ly regretting that. I'm going to continue regretting that. We'll try and get out of that situation in many ways. Probably won't be able to succeed. Le'Veon, I think you're still just playing, right?
Yeah, he's probably the best play. I think it's just going to be a lot of running on both sides. I don't see this game really like you'd think with the awful defenses they have that it could possibly be a sneaky like pick the over game, but I just think it's going to be a lot of running and a lot of underperforming.
Yeah, I think 38.5. I mean, I'd still pick the under.
Yeah, exactly.
It's we saw Crowder be the productive Jets receiver 2 weeks ago. Demaryius Thomas actually led them in receiving this past week. Do you trust either of them, and is it ever going to be Robbie Anderson's week?
No, it's not. And I don't trust anybody. I currently have Demaryius Thomas in my lineup after dropping Robbie Anderson for him, and I just feel like a complete idiot. So I'm probably going to try to do anything else instead of playing either of those dudes. So like I'm saying, I don't trust any of these pass catchers. Their upside is so shot. And I don't know. Their target shares have been kind of safe. Like Robbie Anderson has been pretty much on the outs. Crowder's been pretty steady. And then Thomas has been coming on hot as of late. But they're nothing you can trust. The most workload that's sustainable that I trust is probably Crowder with his target share. And that's not great.
Yeah, it is. It is not great. You should probably stay away from this in any way possible. One thing, I think Mason Rudolph just threw a pick to a linebacker who was covering a slot receiver who was extremely open, and Rudolph just threw the ball like 3 feet behind the slot receiver directly to the linebacker.
Oh, God.
Another thing, the commercial now appears to be the debut commercial for a movie called Ford versus Ferrari, and it's a racing movie where Christian Bale is a guy named Ken Miles, and Matt Damon is named Carroll Shelby. What the fuck is that?
It's like a very historic moment, dude.
Is it really?
Ferrari. Yeah. It's like an Oscar movie.
It's going to be good? It looks terrible.
I also thought that, but it is already certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe, which is pretty much whatever. But it's still like it's pretty much like an Oscar bait thing for like Christian Bale and Matt Damon.
Huh.
Yeah. I also like when someone said they were in a movie together, I'm like, sweet. And then it's like, hey, it's PG-13 and about like Ford and Ferrari like jerking each other off trying to beat their cars. I'm like, that sounds not cool. So I'm with you on that. It does not look like it's going to be.
I'm not a car guy, and I feel like that movie is just going to piss me off.
Christian Bale's awesome, though, and so is Matt Damon.
Yeah, like I like both of them, but they can both get a little bit like masturbatory with their performances from time to time, if that makes sense. I don't know.
This feels like that type of movie.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Sorry, I shouldn't have even gotten anywhere with that. On the Redskins side of the ball, we kind of talked about Peterson and Geis. I think the only other play to really talk about is Terry McLaurin. The Jets' pass defense has been atrocious. Do you think this is maybe a game where McLaurin can sort of get behind the defense and pull off a big play?
I can see why it would be tempting, but yeah, I think you still do it. It really depends on your options. If I could play anybody else with like a ceiling, I think I'd prefer it over playing Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I mean, it's an extremely thin
like
play.
a Marquise Brown I'd much prefer over Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, like Russell Gage I'm having a hard time with.
That's a tough one. I think I'd probably nah. They're
like
very
Ridley
different plays, you know?
Exactly. It's he falls on like a fringe of like, I don't know, he feels safer than he is and he's not safe. So I'm very worried.
He's not safe at all. Like his floor is literally probably 0, but like I think there's a pretty solid chance he like busts a big one in this game. Like if he's going to, it's going to be against the Jets, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Just like what they're doing with the run game and Haskins not really looking good. I'm very, very sheepish on it.
Yeah. I mean, you're betting. I feel like his ceiling is still just like 2 long touchdowns, which, is a great game, but like, is it worth that 0-point floor? I don't know. Probably not.
Also, another fun fact, the Redskins have not scored a touchdown in an entire month.
A month?
A month.
Huh. All right, I'm not playing Terry McLaurin. What a fucking stat.
Yeah, that's been getting passed around, and like Ed told me before, I'm like, oh, I remember seeing that. I don't like the gravity of it didn't really hit me until a Redskin fan texted me that.
Yeah, how does Ed feel about that?
I think Ed's in the same numbness boat that I'm in with like our teams right now, with like the Bengals and the Skins just being so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing for your team to suck. It's another for the organization to also suck.
Yeah, I know that game.
Yeah. You're coming out on the other side, though. There is
Raiders, Mets, and Knicks, baby. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm miserable.
All right. I'm taking the Jets here.
I'm going to go Skins. Like I said, I think they fuck around and lose this on accident. Donald makes like one too many mistakes.
Fair enough. Let's move to game of the week number 2, Bengals at Raiders.
It's funny because like normally this is fun to like poke each other, and like
it's not fun this year.
It's not fun anymore, man.
It's not fun.
It's not.
Your team is so bad. I'm sorry.
It's so bad.
The Raiders are a 10.5-point favorite. The over-under is 48.5. On the bright side, if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers on Monday night and the Raiders win this easily winnable game, the Raiders could be in first in the division.
That's awesome. I love Gruden, dude. I love Happy Gruden.
I love Gruden as a coach and play caller. Still not sold on GM Gruden or player personnel decision maker Gruden, but I could not be happier with the way that Gruden has called the plays and managed the offense so far this year.
Yeah, it's been impressive.
All right, let's start on the Bengals side of the ball. Ryan Finley is going to start again. Last week, the Bengals got down big and appeared to just be like, fuck it, let's give Joe Mixon the ball 30 times. And
Gio also went, like, it was just like a perfect storm of suck. Like, Gio went down, they're down fucking 30 points. Like, ugh.
So do you think Mixon is startable here? Like, do you think that same sort of thing is going to happen?
I feel like it's a trap, and I feel like a lot of people are going to want to play him after seeing him actually do something, but I would still be a little worried. Just because I think Gio hasn't been on the injury report, like, popping up. So
yeah, Gio's expected to play from what I've heard.
Exactly, and, like, he will be involved. So that upside of 30 fucking carries with still no rushing touchdown, by the way, there will not be a ceiling for him this game.
Yeah, I mean, I expect this game to be a little bit closer than the Ravens game was, but at the same time, not that close. So we'll see. I think the one play that I'm interested in here for the Bengals is Tyler Boyd, because we know Ryan Finley likes to throw the ball short. We know Tyler Boyd's going to be in the slot. We know the Raiders cornerbacks are bad, so I'm in on Tyler Boyd.
There is a chance Tyler Boyd misses.
Really?
Yeah, he's a little banged up right now. So should he miss, also John Ross is probably going to be back from IR.
He's not – so from what I saw, though, he can't actually play until December 2nd.
Oh, shit. Oh, right. You're right. He's just back at practice.
He's, like, back practicing this week.
So if Tyler Boyd does not go, it's going to be down to Auden Tate, Tyler Eifert, Alex Erickson.
Erickson would be my guy there.
That is disgusting. I'd actually probably lean Eifert in that situation, oddly. He was pretty involved last week. It was like out of all times to do it, they do it then. So very, very odd usage, but he was very involved. And if you're really hurting a tight end, sure.
All right, fair enough. Another weird, dumb tight end option that we have. Let's move to the Raiders side of the ball where, I mean – there's a couple plays here. I think the most 100% like lock it in big game play that you could possibly have is Josh Jacobs right now.
Yeah. John Gruden is licking his chops right now. He's going to have at least – he's going to do what Joe Mixon did last week, 30 carries.
Like 30 carries, probably like 180 yards and like 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
Like I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. You mentioned Carr before as one of the top streamers. I think because Jacobs is just going to have his way so much, like I like Kyle Allen a little bit better, but I do think Carr is the number 2 streamer behind him.
Yes. I agree with that sentiment, but I do think that they'll still have to get out to a lead, and I do think they're going to use like Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller very early on to get the lead, and then have a lot of fun pounding the rock. So it's, I guess, like a limited ceiling play, but you're still going to get like 16 plus out of Carr, I feel.
Okay, and I do think Carr is safer than some of his pass catchers in this, because I have a stat for you here. Over the past 3 weeks, no Raiders pass catcher has more than 18% target share. Can you guess which Raider has the 18% target share over these past 3 weeks?
It was Hunter Renfrow.
You nailed it.
Nice. Yeah, he's been coming on. He's an interesting like spot play here too. As we said, though, it is a little tough to spot play a dude in a game where you expect the running back to just murder the other team. But he has been playing very well.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, Williams and Waller each have 17% target share over that same time frame. So it's not like they're far behind. And I think Williams, with his downfield threat ability, is certainly worth the play. Waller, you're just not sitting this guy at this point, despite the fact that the past 2 weeks have been very disappointing for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that stat wasn't really as much for me to say you should play Hunter Renfrow as like maybe just be a little bit cautious and lower your expectations for some of these guys.
Yeah, I think the last couple of weeks have really given like a reality check. Like I have Waller in a lot of places where I'm just like, he's not what he was like blowing up with like 8 targets a game, but he's still like, I'd rather have him than anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, they've just been successful spreading the ball around a lot thinner. Like they've used Jalen Richard. They've used Zay Jones. They've used Trevor Davis, Foster Moreau. Like all of these guys have been involved and the Raiders have been winning. So it's good for the team. But until they get in maybe sort of that game script where they're coming back from behind or that sort of thing, I don't know necessarily that Williams and Waller are the sure things that they were early in the year.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But like, again, you're probably still playing them.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, I am taking the Raiders.
Same.
Did that hurt a little?
No, I've been doing it the last couple of weeks. I think I said last week, I hope the Ravens fuck them in the street, and they did. So that made me kind of happy.
They're still winless, right?
They are 0-9.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Tua, here we come, I guess, right?
or Burrow, man. I'm open.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just like, I'm getting comfy now. I'm just like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Burn it all down.
Burn it down. All right, Cardinals at Niners. What we have here is the Niners as a 10.5 point favorite. The over-under is 45 points. Let's start with the Cardinals side of the ball. It's a tough matchup. The Cardinals have been chucking it deep a little bit the past couple weeks. They've been kind of fun. But do you trust Kyler at all? Do you want to start Kyler?
I would be very nervous. I think if you're talking yourself into it, you're using the last game against the 49ers 2 weeks ago and just being like, oh, he did it then. They were home. It's a Thursday night, shorter week. Division's always usually close, but I feel like the 49ers are going to look to kill this team. So I'd be looking elsewhere if you have Kyler.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's an ideal start. It worked out last time. I wouldn't press your luck on that one. Running back wise, David Johnson looked like absolute shit. Kenyon Drake is still there. Chase Edmonds might be back at some point. I'm kind of just staying away in this matchup, even though Kenyon Drake like fucked them up last time.
Yeah. And Kenyon Drake was more involved last week against the Bucs and did decently well. Not anything amazing, but performed the best out of this group. So I think if you have to spot play someone from this running back core, it's him. David Johnson, I feel like you could sit the dude.
Yeah, you shouldn't play him again until further notice. Like, he looked awful.
Bad. I think he's just really hurt and scared of losing his spot, and he's trying to tough it out, and it's just not – it's kind of sad.
I think he's just hurt. I think he's just beat up.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because that guy at his most athletic and at his peak is really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Receiver-wise – We just saw Christian Kirk blow up for 3 touchdowns. I think one of the interesting stats out of this is since coming back from injury, Christian Kirk has spent only 20% of his snaps in the slot, whereas before injury, that number was over 70%. They're putting him outside. They're letting him run deep. They're not doing the 4 wide receiver sets that they were doing early in the year. They're just keeping Fitz in the slot, and they're having Kirk and some sort of combination of Keyshawn Johnson and Trent Sherfield and Andy Isabella run outside on the other side. Kirk's good, and I'm not sure I would sit him even in this bad matchup.
It's kind of hard to sit the dude after he went off. So I think I'm with you. And he's been also like heavily targeted with Kyler. So I'm fine with like, I feel like his floor is okay too.
Yeah.
Even though he's had a few bust games, but it'll be fine.
Like you're chasing points for sure, but I think it's one of those situations where you can chase points and get like a decent floor game out of it still.
Yes. Yeah. I'm right there with you. It looks uncomfortable when we're talking about it and you're looking at it on paper, but any person that saw him get 3 touchdowns is probably just like, yeah, fucking do it again. But if you look at, statistically, it's not favorable, but I feel like he'll churn out a decent game.
Yeah. And I'm not on Fitz. I'm not on any of the other guys right now.
Fitz, I'm really concerned about, dude. I feel like a lot of people are still kind of plugging him in and plop him in lineups. Like I'm just, he's sittable. He's so sittable.
He's like droppable.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Maybe, dude.
There's 2 wide receivers I would play in this game, and neither of them are Fitz.
Who's the other one?
Deebo Samuel.
Oh, I thought you meant on the Cardinals.
No.
I was like, Andy Isabella?
I might rather play Andy Isabella than Fitz at this point, just on big play expectation.
I'm not there yet, but I will be there soon.
All right, let's move to the Niners side of the ball. They're bit by a lot of injuries right now. We've got Matt Breida expected to miss 2 weeks. He's definitely out this week.
Maybe.
Definitely maybe out this week.
He is, I don't know. He's always like with that ankle. I don't know what the fuck to think.
The motherfucker always has like 4 different injuries and then is also somehow in there like grinding out 5-yard carries. So
running 23 miles an hour on a football field. I'm just like, Jesus, dude, stay on the injury report.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But we've got him likely out. We've got Manny with the rib injury, game time decision. We've got George Kittle, who is doubtful, but like not necessarily ruled out yet. So there's a lot of things to deal with.
And this is a 4:30 game, so it's so shitty.
Yeah, I think the first thing we should talk about is Garoppolo, because I think people might want to stream him, and I don't think that's the right call.
I wouldn't. No, just don't. I was gonna say if you want to, don't. But
I'm going Darnold over Garoppolo, and I know I was saying I'm trying to get off Darnold, but I don't think that's the wrong call.
Kyle Allen over Garoppolo.
Yeah, I mean Kyle Allen and Derek Carr for sure over Garoppolo, but
okay, I don't know about Darnold.
I think also Darnold I'm going to throw in there.
No for me on that one.
Okay, and that's fair. I think that's a very close line, but like I just don't think the upside is there at all for Garoppolo in this match.
They did struggle a ton missing like Manny and Kittle. They really did because
it was noticeable.
Very noticeable because like that game probably could have been easily won by them or at least taken back in control. But like Samuel, Bourne, and Pettis were just dropping balls, like not in the right place at the right time. Jimmy G almost threw like 3 picks on that last drive. And it was just very insane. So they look a lot better when they have their stars. So if Jimmy G doesn't have them and it's just not in the cards this week.
Yeah. I mean, if Kittle and Manny were on the field, yes, 100%. If they're not, then like, no, not it for me. Running game, Tevin Coleman is obviously a guy you are playing here. Do you have any interest in Mostert, who is also on the injury report?
I picked up Mostert, and I'm probably going to drop him. So I don't think you're going to want to play him. I just don't feel like waiting and then Brady's going to be like surprise active. I'm just like, I can't hang around for this. So probably.
And Mostert is banged up too. So
exactly. Yeah. He's doing his own, what is it? It's a lower leg injury. So
yeah,
not about it.
In terms of the wide receivers, if Manny is out, I'm on Deebo Samuel. I think he's clearly the guy that they're trying to target without Manny in there. Shanahan is scheming plays for him. He's been good when he's had the ball in his hands. I think he's an actual start if Manny does not go.
100%. And if I'm a big Sanders owner, and if I tried to get Samuel in a lot of leagues and it just didn't work.
I got him in the Brick League where I am a Sanders owner.
That's perfect, dude, because you could wait, and it's like game time decision. Like, dude, you're probably going to be playing Samuel, or like it's just like you win-win. So like if you have another guy that you're like wanting to play, and it's like the later window game, and Deebo Samuel's in play for you, Samuel is a great start
in that league
as long as Manny is out.
And this will segue into our next point, but in that league, I have Manny, Deebo, Kittle, and Ross Dwelly, and I am making my decisions based on who's in and who's out, because I think the way that we said if you have Manny, you should be willing to play Deebo as like the guy, like you make your decision based on that. I think same exact thing. If you own Kittle, you should have just picked up Ross Dwelly. And if Kittle is out, then you play Ross Dwelly, and if Kittle plays, then you play Kittle. Like, it's that simple.
Absolutely, dude. Dwelly has looked, pretty decent, like taking over for Kittle. Like nothing crazy, but he still got 7 targets last week. That's pretty sweet. Didn't really do much with them, but if any tight end that gets fucking 4 looks, I'm thinking about playing. So Ross Dwelly in an offense that features the tight end, like that's fine with me as long as Kittle's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Cardinals, like the Cardinals are awful against the tight end. Dwelly got 7 targets last week, as you said. Like, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yep, with you on that.
All right.
Hopefully everyone's as lucky as you and has all the 49er backups to the 49er starters.
Dude, I own Kittle in 4 leagues, and I picked up Dwelly in all 4 of those leagues. So
I mean, you pretty much had to.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking the Niners here.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's take a quick break, Vin. We will be back with the last 3 games of the week.
Have you thought about trying sports betting but aren't sure how it'll go? Our friends at FanDuel are giving away a $50 sign-up bonus at letstalkfantasyfootball.com/FanDuel-sportsbook.
All right, guys, we are back from that quick break. We got 3 more games coming at you, and then we will let you go. We're going to start with the Patriots at the Eagles. This is going to be a fun game. The Patriots are a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is 45. On the Patriots side of the ball, they are coming off the bye. I'm terrified of the Patriots off the bye. I am also terrified of prognosticating the Eagles this year. I don't know who to play on any front. So can you give me all the analysis for this game?
Oof. All right. I was kind of in the same boat, but let me try to do this.
No, well,
so
yeah, go for it. Start.
No, I'm just gonna fucking fall on my face. Like,
is there a running back?
I was gonna say everybody on the Patriots I'm considering, but I'm comfortable with none of them. But I feel like they're gonna fuck the Eagles up.
It's Edelman who's the one, right?
I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Sony Michel, you're pretty much like force playing him at this point. Like, you're not comfortable at all. Really?
Yeah.
Even if like he's your only dude?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. In the league where I own him, I'm playing Ingram, and then who the fuck am I playing else ahead of him? I can't.
It's got to be someone obscure, like Brian Hill or something.
It is Brian Hill, actually. Yes, it is.
There you go. I'm like, who did you just pick up that you could possibly play over him?
Yeah,
I guess that's where we could go from there. Like, yeah, Sony Michel. Obviously, you want like a running back in a better matchup with more confidence that they're going to get the ball. And
so I mean, the Eagles are a tough run defense. The Patriots are a 3-way running back committee where Sony Michel does nothing but run the ball. So like, I'm
touchdowns
not,
and that's it.
Yeah, like if you get a touchdown, cool, it worked out for you. I'm not confident starting that. If I have Brian Hill or fuck it, I will play Kalen Ballage over Sony Michel this week.
I'm slowly turning, on what I just said before, that he's possibly force played. I think you're right. At this point,
it's a bad matchup.
You suck it up, and you're just like, yeah, I made a bad third round pick. It's week 11. It's time to nut up and stop doing this.
Yeah.
Look else.
I mean, on the turn side of that, I think James White is a great play this week.
Yeah, I do too. They've been utilizing him a lot. Burkhead is back, or at least should be active again. They don't really use him. So.
He gets used enough to be annoying to the other two, but not enough to make him a usable fantasy option.
Oddly enough, he eats more into Michel's value than he eats into White's value, which is odd. Very odd.
Yeah.
Edelman has 90 fucking targets this year.
Yeah, he does that a lot. Like, that's kind of what he is. Like,
it's so wild.
And I mean, we're also coming off, we're like very recently, Mohamed Sanu had 14 targets in a game. Like, this whole Patriots secondary, Patriots wide receiver core, because the Eagles secondary is not good. And even though I think they've improved over the year, is there any reason to play guys like Dorsett or Sanu, or are we just sticking with the known quantity in Edelman?
I'll stick with the known. I think the Patriots go back to their bread and butter. I just think they let Brady goes nuts. Edelman has a good game. I think James White also has a pretty great PPR game, and then they just kind of fuck the Eagles up. I really think they destroy them.
I think that's probably the correct call. Let's move to the Eagles side of the ball. The ball is the word that I'm looking for. So weirdly enough, I know we just said the Patriots fucked them up, but the Patriots have been a little vulnerable to the run game over the past quarter of the season or so. So I feel like the guy that I'm looking at the most here is Jordan Howard, because if I'm the Eagles, the way I'm trying to win this game is through Jordan Howard. The Eagles, now that Deshaun Jackson is hurt again, have no deep threat. They have no way to stretch the field. They have no way to make their pass game dynamic outside of Ertz and Goddard in the seams. So I'm trying to just pound it down their throats, keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, and you do that through Jordan Howard.
Yes, I agree. The Browns tried that most recently, and it just kind of got out of their hands, lost a couple fumbles. So
that was because Chubb fumbled for the first 2 times since his fucking junior year of college.
I know. I was going to finish and say that.
I'm sorry. That makes me so mad because it's such Patriots bullshit. But anyway, continue.
It was also raining, dude. Maybe Chubb's just afraid of water, like a gremlin. Or no, what are they? Mogwais before they get wet? Then they're gremlins? Mogwai?
I've never seen the Gremlin movies. I'm sorry.
You've never seen the Gremlins?
No, I should. I know.
That's really fucked up. Well, at least watch the first one and then don't watch the second one. Watch the second one for fun. It's very hard to explain. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about?
You're saying Nick Chubb is a Mogwai, which is not a player in the game that we are talking about. Let's talk about Jordan Howard. Is he going to have a good game?
I think he is. He's going to have a good game, but he has a timer on it. It'll be a first half. He'll have a good first half, and then it'll just get away from them.
Okay. Do you trust anyone in this Eagles pass offense? And if so, then who?
I want to trust Ertz. I really do, but he's having a very off year, low targets comparative to last year. Also, Dallas Goedert stealing shit. And if there's a game for Dallas Goedert to steal some shit, like a touchdown, it's this game because the Patriots take away your number one option. Alshon Jeffrey's dealing with a knee injury, didn't practice this week, might not play. They're going to take away Zach Ertz pretty hard. So I feel like Goddard's probably going to be open for a couple plays. So I feel like he's a great spot play.
Okay. I like Ertz and Goddard this week. I think you can play both of them pretty confidently.
Even if Jeffrey's out?
Yes, I think especially if Jeffrey's out.
You're not worried about the Patriots just like honing in on that?
I mean, yeah.
Not enough to sit him in fantasy?
Yeah, like I think the strength of the Patriots pass defense is their cornerbacks and their scheme sort of. But like I don't know, like they got to throw to someone, right? Like someone's going to get some of those yards, and it sure as hell isn't going to be Nelson Aguilar. It sure as hell isn't going to be J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And sure as hell ain't going to be Matt Collins.
What about returning Jordan Matthews?
We have to bring up Jordan Matthews. Oh God. Yeah.
No.
They had the chance to trade for a fucking deep threat, to sign some sort of deep threat. No, we're going to get Jordan Matthews.
For the third time in 3 years.
Carson Wentz only plays well when he has an active deep threat, and you sign Jordan Matthews when Deshaun Jackson goes down. Like, I like the Eagles front office. I think they've done great. What the fuck are they doing there?
It's not the best move. Also, like, Arcega-Whiteside has done nothing. Like, they haven't even, like, tried to get him involved.
No, and I mean, like, the only thing that I think maybe could, like, save the team is if Matt Collins becomes, like, the deep threat that he was about 2 years ago. But that's not, like, that's clearly not happening right now. So, yeah, like, the Eagles, like we said, this was a really tough game to parse. I don't know what to do with it. I'm most confident in Jordan Howard. I am second most confident in Zach Ertz. I am third most confident in Dallas Goedert. That's all I can really say. I'm not confident that any of them even have a playable game.
Yeah. Very confident that we're not confident.
Oh, yeah. Most confident in that. All right. I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they killed them.
All right. Bears at Rams. This game also kind of sucks.
Remember the last time they played and Goff was just like, that was when the Rams had a good team and the Bears demolished them.
Yeah, but I mean, so here's the thing. The Bears defense isn't as good as them. The Rams offensive line is clearly not as good as them.
So it's going to be the same game.
Yeah, I kind of think so. I mean, like the Bears, even with their defense not as good, they are fifth in pressure rate in the NFL. And the big issue with the Rams this year has not been that Goff has been worse or better situationally. It's been that he has been exactly the same quarterback under pressure and not under pressure. He has just been under pressure way more often. Bears are fifth in the NFL in pressure rate. Don't see it being a good game for the Rams. The guy I'm most confident in this game in, like, and I guess we'll just move back to the Bears here, but Allen Robinson, he's like the only guy that I'm on, and I know Jalen Ramsey's going to shadow him. I don't really care that much.
Really?
Yep. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's had a good year.
Oh, he's got to get his feet, man. He just got to the team. He forgot how to play corner. He's got to get back into it.
I think A-Rob's going to fucking show him where his feet are. Like this fucking like.
Yeah, actually, dude, Allen Robinson is so good. So, I mean, you're not sitting him anyway. But yeah, he could have a good one. I'm realistically, I'm confident in like zero people in this matchup. It's almost as bad as the Patriot Eagles one. Like, I do not feel good about any of these plays. Yeah,
literally none of them. I mean, Allen Robinson is the most confident I am, and he's being shadowed by Jalen fucking Ramsey. So, like, that shows you right there. Like, the pass catchers on the Bears outside of that, Taylor Gabriel would obviously be the next one up, but, like, you cannot count on him for anything.
Right.
David Montgomery, I do not trust further than I can throw, and I think he's like a fat dude, so I can't really throw him that far.
He also got hurt and didn't practice. He rolled his ankle, according to Matt Nagy.
Sweet.
So, Tariq Cohen, let's talk about him.
Let's not do that.
100% agreed. Move on.
All right, Rams side of the ball, because we're not playing Mitch, obviously, right? Even after 3 touchdowns this past week.
No, but I will keep saying that I feel very bad for Mitch.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he could be a decent quarterback.
Why haven't they run the ball with him at all?
I don't know. I feel like Matt Nagy's been inside his own head for like the entire year.
He was really good last year, and he was like running the ball for like fucking 50 to 70 yards a game.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of narratives where it's they just figured out Matt Nagy's scheme and they tried to run the same shit, and they're just like, yeah, we're not letting you do that. So there's a whole bunch of things at play. I feel like, I don't know, there's been a bunch of stuff coming out about like the 2017 draft where they're just talking shit about like how Mitch went before Mahomes and Watson. So I don't know. I feel Mitch is getting ganged up on. He's kicked while he's down. So I'm not going to pile on. He seems like he could do some stuff. He's very athletic and, decent when he's got a good play caller going.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. Rams side of the ball, you're a Gurley owner.
Fuck me.
You doing it?
I am playing him. You can't get after the Bears in the run game. Funny thing is, Rams can't run the ball. So I'm just going to roll with it. See what the fuck happens. I'm not confident. Again, like that's just what it is. I
like Gurley. I think it's a good play. In this matchup where they're a 6.5 point favorite, I know the over under is very, very low. I don't know if I said that. The over under is 40.5. I like it. I think Gurley might be like a sneaky play too. Because like you said, the Bears have been easy to run all over. I know the Rams haven't had a run game, but it is what it is there. In the pass game, how do we parse through any of this? Brandon Cooks is out. Robert Woods has been bad. Cooper Kupp just had 0 catches. Gerald Everett continues to be like a cog in this machine. Like, is Gerald Everett our most confident play here?
He is. Yes, you just said it. I'm very confident in him scoring over 5 points. So he is a tight end 1.
What about Cooper Kupp? What do we do with Cooper Kupp?
You play. Don't freak the fuck out. Cooper Kupp is fine. Don't worry.
Robert Woods, though, we can safely sit.
I'm actually playing him just because.
That sucks.
So I know. Stop making fun of me. I own so many Rams. I'm an idiot. So last week against a very good Steelers defense, he wound up almost putting up like 100 yards. So I just think the sheer amount of volume that he could also get in this game, like he plays majority on the outside. Bears are very locked down on the outside, but he does move around. It depends. So I just think the volume play is there. Anything else is just out the window, which is a shitty place to be, but I'm also in a bad spot with wide receiver. So maybe take Walsh's advice on this one.
Yeah. I mean, like if you need to, then go for it. If you don't, then don't.
Russell Gage.
I'd probably rather play Woods.
Okay. Who else
even like we just talked about Everett. Everett's target totals, I want to read you these over the past 5 weeks or over the past 5 games for the Rams. 11, 5, 10, 3, 12. Fuck. Give me something consistent. That sucks, dude.
That's tight end. That's tight end, man.
Yeah.
If you keep playing that, you're happy 50% of the time.
50% of the time, it works all the time.
All the time, baby. So yeah, that is exactly what it is, man. I'm so over caring about tight end. Like I said, dude, if they're getting 4 looks, 4 targets, I don't even care if you produce on them. You're in my lineup.
All right. Fuck it. I'm taking the Bears.
I'm gonna take the Rams out of pity. They're favored by 6.5. Oh, they're gonna.
That seems like a lot.
That is so much. They're at home. So what?
Gurley theoretically should have a really good game in this game.
Theoretically, yes. He also should have rolled the Bengals. He also should have rolled a bunch of other teams.
Oh, wait, this is a Sunday night game, isn't it?
It is Sunday night.
Okay,
yes.
I don't have to worry about it on the main DraftKings slate because in my head I'm being do I play Gurley this week? It's
you did just perk up really hard. I'm what is Walsh on right now?
Yeah. I was straight up being I should look up Gurley's salary for this week. And what this is doing is saving me from myself. All right, Monday night game, Chiefs at Chargers. The Chiefs are a 3.5 point favorite on the road. The over-under here is 52. So we expect a high-scoring game. On the Chiefs side of the ball, like you're playing everyone.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone you're getting cute with, like Mecole Hardman or Robinson?
So Robinson, I'd get cute with ahead of Mecole Hardman just because of snap percentage and target percentage. I know Mecole Hardman had that long touchdown. I don't expect that to continue. I think the real question on the Chiefs is Damian Williams a bell cow that we can trust again?
You know, it sucks because this is the Monday night game, and you don't know if McCoy is going to scratch randomly. So if you're going into the Monday night game with Damian Williams, I think he is a good play if we're expecting the workload that we saw against the Titans. But do you want to bank on that? Like, obviously, if you have more information going in like that, McCoy might not play. I kind of like Damian Williams a lot more, but outside of that, I feel like I'd probably go to someone like Brian Hill over him for guaranteed workload.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm having a real hard time trusting any sort of Chiefs running backs because it's also possible that just Darrell Williams overtook him.
True.
I mean, I know he had a great game this past week, but I just don't trust it. I think if I'm debating between him and Brian Hill going into the week, I'm choosing Damian Williams, but I think it's close.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough spot to be in. Also, He did fumble, which is exactly why McCoy was healthy scratch in quotes, whatever. So I don't know. I just feel like Andy Reid is confused right now, and he hasn't been confused for a while with his running backs.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Looking at the Chargers side of the ball, the Chiefs are weirdly good at pass defense this year. So I think I'm looking at Gordon and Eckler. Am I wrong on that?
I think that stat is kind of getting skewed because teams have been running the ball so much on them and staying in games. I still think you can throw on this team.
So are you playing Allen, Williams, Henry? Where do we draw the line there?
I'm going to play everybody. I'm going to play Henry, Allen, Mike Williams.
Okay. I don't hate it at all. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think you can't go wrong, dude. I mean, when me and Dom were covering the Titans one last week, we're just they're going to play catch up eventually. It doesn't even matter if they were actually good at, defending the pass. They're going to run to stay in the game a lot with Gordon, why I think he is the best play of this game on the Chargers side. But Eckler's still going to be involved, and I think Keenan Allen has one of his bounce-back games and catches 8 balls at least. And then Mike Williams probably catches a couple deep shots. So I just feel like this is a good get-right game for them. And then Hunter Henry, there's no fucking way you're sitting this dude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Henry's a must-play for sure. I think Allen is also a must-start. Mike Williams, I do not think you have to play, but I'm not shying away from him if I need to. Gotcha. That's the way I would put that.
You also have Mike Williams. What are you doing currently right now?
I actually don't know if he's in my lineup right now. I don't think he is. I'll go check it while we're on the podcast. Since we're on our last game, I might as well check my lineup and see what I'm doing.
How have you not looked at that?
I mean, I have. I just don't remember. No, I took him out.
For who?
I played him last week, and I put in Curtis Samuel. So in this league, we play 3 wide receivers and a flex. So I have 4 wide receivers in over Mike Williams, and I still have DJ Shark on my bench. So that's how far down I have him, I think. I'm playing Tyler Boyd, Chris Godwin, Michael Gallup, and Curtis Samuel over him. And if I had to play a 5th wide receiver, it would be DJ Shark. And if I had to play a 6th wide receiver, it might be Sammy Watkins over Mike Williams.
Okay. Well, you do have 2 slices of the pie here. So.
I also have a bunch of really, really middling wide receivers is what I have.
I was going to say, that is a bunch of 8-point scoring ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I have the most matchup based decisions to make every single week at my wide receivers. So it's one of those where I also have started Mike Williams the past 2 weeks. So
getting tired of it, huh?
I don't think it's a bad move to play him this week. I just think if you have other people you should be like, who are potentially have a higher floor. Like, I think all those guys that I said have a much higher floor than Mike Williams.
Okay. Yeah, that's very fair.
All right. I'm going to take the Chargers because I want the Raiders to be in first after this week.
I would have loved to do that, but I am taking the Chiefs.
All right. Well, then I think we're going to have to call it a podcast, Vinny. You got anything else for the people here?
No, man. Have a great week 11. Got that wrong on the last one. But yeah, I don't know. Are you getting nervous for playoffs, dude? It's making me so like I'm so like cocky in the beginning of the year, and then like I get humbled at some point, but then I get better. Now I'm hurt. I'm like on the fringe, like in every league. Like it's just like since the NFL is so close, fantasy is so fucking close. And it's all setting in again. I'm just like, I hate this part of the year, but it's also the best part of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting very nervous. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing pretty well in 5 out of 6 of my leagues. And I should make the playoffs in all 5 of those, but like, it's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. I had like the second most points in our league this past week, and I lost to fucking Rodgers. So like, you know, like anything is possible. You know, yeah, I'm getting nervous to answer your question.
Yeah, man, it's setting in for everybody.
I am very nervous. Shrek is 2 games ahead of me, and he has 160 points less than me on the year. God, I hate him.
Just looking at his points against makes me want to kill like little kids. Like it's just fucking bad. It's so less than everybody else. It's like 200 points less.
Yeah, dude. It's tough. It's you know, you're right on the border there. You're currently in 4th in our league, but you're sitting at an even 500.
I am. I'll put this as I am a game out of 2nd and a game out of last. Like it's insane. It's so crazy.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. So in my 2nd biggest league, I have one of the most infuriating stories in terms of fantasy football that you may have ever heard in your life. I am not going to tell it right now because it will make me even more mad. But I'm going to tease it for a future podcast when I like calm down a little bit.
Oh, wow. Do I know about this?
You do not. I have not told any of you guys because it has literally made me so mad that I have questioned friendships of like years and years of years. I will save it for a podcast at another time. But that's a teaser of sorts, I guess.
Did you get like colluded on or something?
Kind of. And it's the commissioner who did it.
Ooh.
And that's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you this afterwards. You are going to be mad.
Okay. I hate when like people like canoodle around like with that shit.
Yeah. But for now, hope you're not getting colluded on. We'll talk to you guys next week after these games. We should be back with a recap and the 2 previews like we normally do. Hope you all guys have a great week 11. For Vinny, I am Walsh. Later, podcast.
This has been Let's Talk Fantasy Football. Thanks for listening.